आपण सुनुछंती 90.4 SOA Radio।
नमस्कार श्रोता बंधु मु आरजे शुभश्री आपण सुनुछंती 90.4 SOA रेडियो 90.4 SOA रेडियो रे एथर भाबिलु आमे समस्त मिसी गोटे वैलेंटाइन वीक स्पेशल वे रे आमे सेलिब्रेट करबा। सब वर्ष त आमे सेलिब्रेट करू किंतु एई थरक भाबिलु टिके ट्विस्ट आनिबा पई सेथि पई आमे नियसछु गोटे स्पेशल टॉपिक लव फॉर डिसिप्लिन। आज्ञा हां आज रही स्पेशल प्रोग्राम रे आम सहित जोड़ी होती जड़े खास अतिथि से होती लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल जयंत कुमार मोहांती, चेयरमैन ऑफ भारतीय विद्या भवन भुवनेश्वर एंड चेयरमैन ऑफ बीसीसीए भुवनेश्वर। तेबे चलंतु आउ डेरी न करी तांको आज कार्यक्रम को स्वागत करिबा। नमस्कार सर, स्वागत करछि आपनको आज स्वतंत्र कार्यक्रम को।
नमस्कार।
केमती अछंती?
भलो अछि, गुड।
तेबे सब दिन भलो रहिबाकू हेले कोन करबाकू पड़े आपनको?
सब दिन भलो रहिबाकू हेले मेंटली वन हैज टू थिंक दैट ही इज वेल। मु सकाळ उठे उठे भगवान को कहे आज दिनटा भलो रे जाऊ, महाप्रभु काली भलो रे जाइतला आज भी निश्चय भलो रे जेबा, आपण दया करंतु। एंड विथ दैट पॉजिटिव वाइब आई गेट अप, लीव माय बेड and believe me, the whole day I am happy and I am in a positive frame।
कुहा जाय कि जीवन रे श्रृंखला ए शब्दटी बहुत तार मूल्य थाए। तेबे आपणक मतरे श्रृंखला बा निजको श्रृंखलित रखिबा केते जरूरी?
मु कोठु आरंभ करिवि श्रृंखला जदि मु ताको डिफाइन करिवि, आई थिंक इट इज ऑल एनकम्पासिंग। तुम जदि कहबो को जिनसटा प्रकृति रे अशृंखलित किसी पाइब कि केबे पाइबनी। प्रकृति मात्रे के ही श्रृंखलित, सब जिनिस जीवनटा ही श्रृंखलित, किंतु कौ श्रृंखलाटा हमको भल लगे, कौ श्रृंखलाटा हमको भल लगे नहीं। एंड देयर इज द चैलेंज। सो श्रृंखला, डिसिप्लिन इन शॉर्ट इन इंग्लिश, इज ऑल एनकम्पासिंग and in every sphere of our life, in every activities, in our thought process also, I'll go to that extent, it has to be disciplined। श्रृंखलित हबार ही अच्छी, जदि श्रृंखलित नहीं ताले जमिति आम मुंड चुटी ओडुआ हो जाए, से बेले आम जीवनटा भी ओडुआ हो जिवो, आम मुहटा भी से बेले ओडुआ देखा जिवो जदि आम मुंडटा कुंडेबानी। आम मुंडटा कुंडेबा जमिति श्रृंखलित डिसिप्लिन, से भलिया आम जीवनटा मध्य डिसिप्लिन। तो श्रृंखला इज ऑल एनकम्पासिंग।
जेतबेले आमे घरु पाद काटी बाहर से समय गाड़ी मोटर देखिक हमको रोड क्रॉस करबाकू हुए, आमे जदि से सब को लक्ष्य न रखिबा हुए तो कोना कोटी दुर्घटना मध्य घटी जाय पारे। तेबे पचारबाकू चाहिबी श्रृंखला ए जो शब्दटी केउ केउ क्षेत्र रे आम पई बहुत जरूरी एवं काहेकि?
आपण देखंतु पिला दिनरु
आज्ञा
पिलाटी जन्म होबा पाखरु तार शेष पर्यंत तार प्रति कर्तव्यटी, every action of the child and he grows being a youth and old age, he gets all throughout his activities, all activities have to be disciplined, have to be followed a pattern. It can't be haphazard. Whatever one has to do has to be done with a purpose, has to be done with a disciplined manner, has to have a beginning, a middle and an end, and to that extent everything has to be thought through. Now suppose I'll give you an example. Suppose I am going to play a game, and while going to play a game, if I have not decided what game I am playing, if I am trained properly or not, if I am properly equipped for that or not, who are my partners, ultimately what I am going to do after playing the game, if I have not thought through all these things, if I have not taken all these things, then I might carry a tennis racket and start going to a badminton court. That won't happen. So if I am going to play tennis, I have to carry a tennis racket, I have to be properly dressed in my tennis kit and go and play tennis. I can't go to a badminton court with a tennis racket. Exactly same thing in all spheres of our life. As a child, when I'm going to school, I have to be taught right from my childhood, as to what is the school, how one has to go through. All parents guide the little children, dress them up, put their books in the bag. Whether the child likes it or not, the child is taken to the school. He has to go through that nursery rhymes and that studies at the morning core. He has to do his or her prayers and do the daily activities and come back, take the exams, get to the next class. So that has to be disciplined, and without that one can't succeed. Why succeed? For everything. Even while I'm eating, plain simple. You don't put your hand in the गरम भात मझे तो हाथ कहीं पुरेबे नहीं, भातटा कड़ू खाया पड़ो. दैट इटसेल्फ इज डिसिप्लिन. सेटा ही श्रृंखला. आमे जदि सेटा को न शिखिबा, सान छुआटे कौन करे, ता आगे आप थोदेवे नहीं कि भात से हाथ पुरे दब, ता हाथ पोड़ी कि नहीं, माँ हाथ धरी पकेब शिखा जरूरी. से भाया जहाँ सी करिया को चाहूँची, जोटा ता पाई उपयुक्त, जोटा ता पाई प्रकृत करिया उचित, से उचित कामटा को ताकू शिखेबा को ही पड़ो, भल लागू बा न लागू. डिसिप्लिन श्रृंखला कहार को भल लगे नहीं. मत जड़े चेन रे बांधिक रखिले मत भल लगे. सो किंतु चेन रे बंधा हवा को मत पड़ो जदि मत गोटे काम ठीक करिया को हबो. That we must understand, and the sooner we accept it, happier we are. The delay that it takes, the more disorganized we become, more pathetic we become, and then we start cribbing, we start grumbling, our life becomes miserable. So it is best is to accept and try in your mind, give yourself suggestion कि no, this is right. I have to get up in the morning at so and so time because my class starts at 9. I have to do this homework and then go to the class. If I haven't done the homework, then I have to stand outside the class, which I will not like. So I have to get up and I have to study.
जेमती कि कहते गोटे छोट पिला जन्म है मात्रे तार बापा माँ सिखाते कि गोटे श्रृंखलित दिग को केमती जीवाक हुए. तेबे सबु पिला तो समान नेचर न थांती. टिके जदि किए दुष्ट होता बुझेबा पड़े, बाबा रे ए जिनसटा भल नुहे, तू ए जिनसटा कर, तो ठीक हम. किंतु पिला माने टिके एक्सेप्ट करबा को टिके लेट करंदी. टिके एटी पचारिबा को चाहिबी, आपण पिला बेले केमती थिले?
मो पिला बेले सब पिलांक भलिया मते भी भल लागु नथिला. मो बापा स्ट्रिक्ट थिले, समस्त भाया मो माँ मध्य स्ट्रिक्ट, किंतु माँ पाखरे one could go and tell her everything. One could be very frank. One was very safe with her, and she would protect you when you have done a mischief. आम घरे पछया पटे आम दुईटा पोखरी थिला, सामने आंब गछर आंब बगीचा थिला चारिआडे. मोर चाइल्डहुड I used to be spending in the swimming in the pond, पोखरी रे गाधुआ. स्कूल पे लेट हो जाऊ था तथापि पहरा चलता है. उठे माड़ खाऊँ बेले बेले, दौड़ी की जावाक पड़े स्कूल. केते बेले अखिया जाऊँ स्कूल कहीं लेट हो गले. बट इट वाज फन. वन वाज indisciplined to the extent that one followed one's passion more than desire. During that time, there was no question of if I have to. I remember even coming back from NDA, I used to come and leave, and my father used to give me a statesman and make me read the editorial every day, and then I used to write. I have to write a summary.
जेमते कि कथाटी अछि अभ्यास बळे सर्वसिद्धि.
अभ्यासेन तु कन्तेय वैराग्येन च गृह्यते. You will get vairagya only through abhyas. Otherwise, there is no way. What does that mean? Relinquish. Vairagya is what? You have to get yourself detached for everything, from your desire, from your passion, from your attachment. So how do you get yourself detached? By abhyas. And what that abhyas nobody sees. You have to know yourself. So that is what it is. That is discipline. To do the right thing in spite of you not liking it. That is discipline. And I think in my childhood, my dad was very strict that way.
बापा काहेकि भाबिले कि मु सैनिक स्कूल रे यांको माने एडमिशन कले ही ठीक बाट को आसी परिबो
जेमते आगुर कहउथली मु घरे आई वाज क्वाइट दिस थिंग नॉटी एंड सैनिक स्कूल नुआ बाहर थिला बापा भी थिले इन एजुकेशन फील्ड though he wanted to give me good education in a public school, one did not get a chance. Here Sainik School was the first public school which has been getting. And second thing was that he was getting little older and I was also growing and becoming more naughtier. So to that extent, it will be better if I get a education, also good education there. And I was also very happy that I'll be away from home and going this thing. Though later on when I went to Sainik School, left home, then one realized as to what home was. Once one went to the school, then only you realized as to what you are missing. But that's life, and you only come to know the value of a thing once that thing is taken away from you, and that's exactly what happened to me. So when I came to Sainik School, suddenly I became the senior most because I came to class 8, the senior most class. Sainik School started in 62, from class 5th to class 8th, and with my age I was taken to class 8. I was the senior batch, and lo and behold, after the school commenced, after 3 months, the authorities decided to start class 9th also. But for class 9th they didn't hold any examinations. Like up to class 8th, there was an open examination for everybody, selection. But for class 9, they selected few of us from class 8, and I was selected to go to class 9th.
नेक्स्ट आपण को पचारबा को चाहिबी आपण आर्मी लाइन रे दीर्घ वर्ष बितेई छंती तबे सेठी आपण केमती निजको गोटे डिसिप्लिन वे रे मेंटेन करंती सकाळ ठर आरंभ करी संध्या पर्यंत
आर्मी लाइन रे तो डिसिप्लिन इज अ मस्ट. Discipline, without discipline, there can be no defense forces. I will not only say defense forces, for that matter, for any force, for any organization, discipline is a must. And after all, what is an organization? It is a combination of human beings, all of us. We make an organization, we make the defense forces, we make this office also. So if we are indisciplined, this office becomes indisciplined, this organization becomes indisciplined. So therefore we have to be disciplined. And this goes for everything, and more so for the army, because in army there is no runners up. In defense forces, there are no runners up. You are a winner or you are a lost case. You are lost. Lost means lost forever. So you have to win, and if you have to win, you have to follow the rigors of discipline. Discipline is not a dirty word. Discipline is by far one of the bedrocks of any society, for anything that you want does in life. Just imagine, today we are sitting in this building, and if these walls, if all the bricks were not laid in a proper disciplined manner, in one straight line, if they are slightly bent also, and if one brick also was loose, this building would not stand. So each brick had to be disciplined, each wall has to be straight for this building to stand. Similarly in army, more so, that we have to be disciplined. And that's what was taught to us right from my schooling days, from Sainik School when I joined, as to what discipline is all about, as to how once a routine is made, we have to follow that routine, come hail or high sea. You know what happens in normal schools? छुट्टी सरीगला मनकर ग्रीष्म छुट्टी सरला तापर क्लास आरंभ हम तापर क्लास जदि 20टा पिला थिबे वो तो 10टा पिला आसथिबे आउ 10 जन आसीबेनी आ जो 10टा पिला आसथिबे सेमानक भितर अधे बही आनिथिबे वो तो अधे बही आनि नथिबे. That doesn't happen in Sainik school or in any other school. Today is the last day of leave. Tomorrow Monday the school starts. So tomorrow the school starts as if there was never a leave ever. It starts with everything in every place perfectly as it was earlier done. When first time it happened to me in Sainik school, I realized what is this happening? मैं तो काली छुट्टी रो आसची. And today everything they want me to be, I'm up at 5 o'clock, everything ready. And then I realized, look, I have to be that way. There's no question. And the teachers, your guides, everybody make sure that you have to be 100% physically on parade. When I say parade, even the classrooms are a parade. Your food also is a parade. Your falling in also is a parade. Your prayer system also is a parade. Everything is a parade that you have to do. Everything as it is to be done. And so it was inculcated in me right from Sainik school. And as one went from Sainik school to NDA, 3 years in a National Defence Academy. In National Defence Academy, I wanted to join Air Force. My father wanted me to be an engineer. And now that I have gone to Sainik school, and from Sainik school I went to Army. So he says, nothing doing, you will join Army, and in Army you will become an engineer. That was my dad's wish. So in between I wanted to actually join Air Force. So in NDA 4th term, we could only change over. In NDA there are 6 terms, 3 years, every 6 months we go one term. So first, second, third, in the 4th term you could change over. And I joined in 65 NDA, so 66 and there was one, they said ki you can change over 1 to 1. So if you want to become an Air Force student, one Air Force student has to become an Army student. Because I had gone for Army, I wanted to become an Air Force. So there was one Ajay Sharma, I remember his elder brother was also in NDA. He was a good athlete. He had joined Army, Ahmad Corps. So I told Ajay, Ajay, why don't you join Army? Yaar? Your brother is in Army and he will take care of you. Why are we going to Air Force? And look, you are so short, your legs will not reach the pedals down below. So you shift over to this thing. So he said, nothing doing, I'm not changing. So I remember I'm taking him to cafe and giving him mangolas. Those days there was no Fanta, no Coca-Cola those days. Those days we used to have mangolas. I have given him a number of mangolas and treated him there in the cafe. Then he said, look, you have to get me a perfume for my girlfriend. I remember having gone to Pune and bought a perfume for his girlfriend and gave it to him. And with great difficulty, Ajay agreed. He said, okay, I'll change over to this thing, and he gave a certificate and application and all that stuff. So I also wrote an application to this thing. But your dad also has to sign that, yes, I'm agreeing. So I forced my dad's signature and gave an application. Here it is. And my squadron commander was a naval officer. He was Commander Kumar. I don't know what came to him. He rang up to my father. Those days phones were also a rarity. So the phone call came through the post office and all that stuff. And my father said, no way, I have not given any permission. I don't even know about this. And then you can imagine what happened to yours truly. So I had my share of punishment then, but I was saved by my divisional commander, divisional officer. Anyway, so I had to join engineers, army. I could not change to this thing. And in army, then we came to IMA. So I said, okay, now I have to be now that I am in army, I'll be an engineer. So I became a technical student. You know, those who want to join engineers or technical things, you have to opt for technical. Luckily study-wise I was okay. So physics, chemistry, mathematics, I said okay, I am a science student and studied that. Came to IMA, I became a technical student and opted for engineers when our
लाइफ रे एमती बहुत किछि चैलेंजेस आसी थाई तबे जेहेतु आपण गोटे आर्मी लाइन रे थिले हुए तो कोना कोटे आपणकर से देश प्रीति थिला निज जाति पाई निज जातिर लोक मानक पाई तबे सबुठारु आपण फेस करथिबा बिग ऑपरेशन कोन सेटा ओवरकम करथिले एवं सेथरे कोन कोन सब चैलेंजेस आपण फेस करथिले
The biggest challenge is fear, Doro. I'll quote the famous saying of our Field Marshal Manekshaw, if you read. Okay. He says ki in war, if anybody told you that he was not scared, he is either a fool or he is a Gorkha. Manekshaw being his troops being Gorkhas, he was trying to boost Gorkhas. What he meant was that in war, everybody is scared. अगर कोई बोलता है कि उसको डर नहीं लगा है तो या वो तो झूठ बोलता है या तो वो नहीं तो वो एक गोरखा है. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So everybody gets scared.
जेतबे गोटे सक्सेस हेके आसंती बा निजे जो माने भाबी थांती कि आज मु ए कामटा करबा को जाउची सेति की सफलता पाइबी कि नाही तबे गोटे अचीवमेंट करि सारला परे घर लोकन को फोन करी जणांते कि आज एआईआ युद्ध क्षेत्र रे हैला कि एम्ति सब मु मैनेज कली एम्ति कहंती.
To be very frank, 71 war is the actual war. Though there has been other wars subsequently, but 71 I had been just 2.5 years in service. I was a young boy. But those days we didn't have these telephones. You can imagine, those days we used to write letters. So they were called forces letters. They were red in color, envelopes. Not envelopes, inland letters. So every day we used to write one inland letter. हमारे बैग में पड़ा होता था those are forces letters. So just write down माँ सब भलो अच्छे हम सब ठीक ठाक अच्छे ओडिया रे. And your runner, your orderly or whosoever your post orderly, who takes that letter and goes in. You never don't know where that letter goes. So after 7, 10, 15 days, it reaches home. By the time the events have passed, my mother also used to write every day 1 or 2 letters. That also used to come to us in a bulk. Some days, in some forest, we are in some God-forsaken hill feature, we are sitting, it will reach us 5-6 letters together one day, and everybody is looking at a postman when he comes eagerly for the letters. And nation comes first, always, every time. But more than that, your unit comes that time, immediate unit, your men with you, your men you command.
बट एठी पचारिबाकू चाहिबी निजे निजको अनुशासन करिबा एवं निजे निजको शृंखलित रखिबाटा केते जरूरी.
मु तो भाबुची निजे निजको शृंखलित रखिबाटा ही जरूरी. केते जरूरी प्रश्न नाही. काहेकि ना जेपर्यंत आमे निजे निजको शृंखलित न करूचे आमे चाहूचे हमको आउ जने के शृंखलित करू ताहले आमे सेटा को एक्सेप्ट करू ना ताहले सेटा हमर दुखर कारण. दैट द कॉज ऑफ आवर मिजरी. The moment we realize that I have to self-discipline myself, that is the answer, that is the path to success, that is the path to greathood, that is the path to leadership. Otherwise, if we do not do self-internalization, self-disciplining, somebody else can't force discipline on us. And if somebody is forcing a discipline on us, that is only when we are a child. When we are not able to realize what is wrong, what is right. When we do not know as to which way to go, somebody holds our hand and takes us in a particular path. That is what is discipline. At that time when we do not know the path. But once we have grown up, once we know what is good for me, what is bad for me, what is expected out of me, what is not expected out of me, what is the right behavior, what is the wrong behavior, then it is definitely up to me to follow the right path and call it self-discipline, call it by whatever name you are, but as long as it is not accepted by us to do it ourselves, then there is no discipline. Then I am going through a miserable path and misery is the cause ultimately.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर आमर हे विशेष कार्यक्रम रे जोड़े हेथिवारु.
Thank you very much.
नमस्कार.
It's been a pleasure for me to have been associated with your activities, and hopefully we shall be disciplined in our life to be a good citizen, a good human being, if nothing else. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद.
Thank you.
श्रोता बंधु आशा करछि आपण समस्त को आज कार्यक्रमटी मन को छुईथिबो एवं वर्तमान तो समय हेलानी आज अतिथि को विदाय देबाकू, किंतु विदाय नेबा पूर्व गोटे कथा कहि रखिबाकू चाहिबी, आपण आपणक जीवन रे डिसिप्लिन निहाती आणतु, कारण बिना श्रृंखला रे जीवन पादुटे मध्य आगेबो नाही. एतिकी कही आज कार्यक्रम को एठी समाप्ति करूछि. पुणी थरे भेटी देबी एही कार्यक्रम रे आउ जणे नुआ अतिथि को. सेथि पर्यंत सुनुथांतु 90.4 सोवा रेडियो.
आपण सुनिछंती 90.4 सोआ रेडियो.